Welcome, Eugenia. You're one of our master coaches, and we're utterly delighted today to welcome you to our Coaching Corner. And this series is to be able to inspire all of our incredible coachees to come and learn more about how, when, why to work with a coach, and to get a sense that actually we too are as invested in the relationship as they are, and that there's a lot to be gained on both sides of this journey. And we're interested in hearing your story today about what inspired you to become a coach, and some of the coaching assignments that you've worked through over the years. So
Mm,
welcome.
Thank you. Thank
And
you. So what inspired me to become a coach? It was actually a good friend of mine who one day, this was many, many years ago, she's a great coach, and she said to me, "Have you ever considered becoming a coach?" And I said, "No, why?" And she said, "Because you're a great listener. You're a good listener." And that made me think, and that made me start sort of looking into what was coaching. And that's how I started. And I haven't stopped training, practicing, and loving more and more coaching. Um, Coaching is for anyone who needs who has a topic or something in their lives that needs untangling. Um, and we see amazing effects in following the Thrive model in only half an hour. And then, as we always say, this is the beginning of the work that we can do together. I always, before I finish my sessions, I invite people to take away some practices, some exercises, some tips, so they can do some homework. So they can do some work, um, and then come back to discuss what happened, what bubbled up, what came up, um, and there isn't such a thing as failure.
yeah, it's very familiar to us we've both been coaches for very many years, and we're coaches in the early stages of the profession. But for a lot of our people that are come for coaching, it's the first time that they've ever contemplated it. Can you share a little bit about what a professional coach exactly does?
A professional coach listens and asks questions to help untangle, to help bring clarity. And there's always it's key. A professional coach will make sure that the time that you spend together, that half an hour or an hour, there is a goal, there is a purpose for that session. It's not chit-chatting, it's not talking, it's working on what is important for the coachee to work on. So there's always the question, and I tend to be quite repetitive at what do you want to get out of this session? What do you want to get out of this session? What do you want to get out of this session? Until we bring it down to to only a few words.
Mm.
And a lot of the time, when you spend time, obviously, calibrating with the client and asking with respect that question, a lot of the time it solves the problem, because
Mm.
a lot of the time we come to set our sessions with not being sure what we want, what is it that we that we want to work on. There's kind of a cloud there in many cases, not always, but in many cases. So the beauty of bringing clarity, that's what coaching offers.
Sometimes people are tentative, just to build on that, because they don't know what they want to use coaching for. And so the idea of coming and sitting with somebody in this kind of one-to-one, quite, intimate relationship when you've got no idea what you want to talk to them about. How do you help people think about or turn up for that first session when there's nervousness or ambiguity?
Mhm. I tend to, I think I bring the fact that it's confidential.
Mm,
And I think that is important for some people to understand that, this is a confidential conversation and there is no judgment. I'm
mm,
here to listen to you and with your permission to give back or offer back what I hear. Okay. And together we work out on what is important for you.
mm.
Um, and that helps a lot. And that helps a lot, people relax um, and a lot of the time, I have clients for the first time, many times. And a lot of the time at the end of the session, they go, okay, so this is what coaching is all about. Yeah, yeah, it's me listening and asking questions. And also, I'm always very clear. And, if I ask a question and that question is not useful to you, I will ask you another one. Just let me know. This has to work out for you, not for me.
So if you could give a glimpse into what that first session would be like, what should someone expect?
Um, uh, I was going to say, come out of the session feeling much better than when you started.
Yeah.
Absolutely, no doubt. Because again, I go back to the importance in these days of allowing the space to be listened to.
Mm.
We don't have that. That is an amazing gift that you can offer yourself when you, as a coachee, as a client, you allow that space.
Yeah, and I've sometimes asked questions like, what's something that you just can't get round to? What's something that's important for you to change in the year ahead? What's something that is taxing for you at this moment in time? What do you most wish you could implement as a positive change in the next 3 months? What's something that you're tolerating? And those questions just kind of get the juices flowing, don't they? It kind of gets people pondering on what might I want for myself? Because we get so used in the fast pace of life to not put ourselves first and not sit and spend some really good quality time pondering on ourselves.
Mm. And also, I think it's important to share that as coaches, we have our experience is giving us tools to lots of questions. So we have lots of questions to ask, and also tools that will help to help the person again get that clarity. And
Mm,
for example, when people say, I don't know, okay, um, I don't know what I want. I don't know. So, okay, let's start with what you don't want, for example. And then, oh, really? Okay. And then the power of writing, I do invite my clients to write down while we work. So what is it, that you don't want? That's, as an exercise. So there's a lot that we can offer. Our experience, that's what experience gives you. The
yeah.
opportunity to have tools and then you offer. And again, I always say, and I repeat myself, because for me it is important to always to remember saying to my clients, hey, if this doesn't work, and I know when it doesn't work, but because we know, we see, we calibrate, we notice, we see our clients, we see faces, reactions. If it doesn't work, let's try a different path.
Mm,
Lots
mm.
of lots of different ways we can address this. So there isn't just one.
Do you think people need to be at a certain stage in their life or a certain stage in their career to benefit from coaching?
No, I don't at all. I think anyone can benefit at any stage. I think what is important is to to understand and to ask as many questions as needed to understand what is coaching and what is not.
Mm.
So we don't get confused with, and this is quite cultural. I coach in English and Spanish, so I have clients from lots of different countries in South America, for example, in Spain. So, and because I coach in English, I have clients that speak, from other countries outside the UK and the US. So lots of cultural differences, and being as a coach, being able to what would be the word to I'm always I have like a sixth sense that I switch on when I coach my clients, to understand if culturally something is making a noise, as we say in Spanish. It's making them hesitate. Um, um, yes.
So
Love
what you're talking about there is being able to provide a safe space for people to be able to explore, express, and understand. What would you say are some of the things that a coach does to help people settle into their first relationship and the ongoing relationship? Because, we know that that journey to the first 4 sessions of coming and meeting the coach, then doing your first session and getting that momentum over, saying at least 3 more sessions, that's the place that you start to really become completely fascinated about the dramatic impact coaching can have. But there's that initial sense of helping people feel as though they're in a place where they're being held. How do you do that?
um, I'm I ask I tend to ask at the beginning if they have any questions regarding the session, regarding coaching, about myself as a coach, just to get them out of their, to get those questions out, of fears, or just, and for me to start listening and sensing where the client is.
Mm.
So I give them that opportunity, and quite lightly, if no questions, that's okay, and we move on, right? If I notice the client is not present because of busy lives, or whatever that the client brings to the session, I invite the client to do a very short practice, mindful practice, to calm down, to be present, to start connecting with what is going on with the client. I think the key is for me, we're adults, we're all adults, so is asking questions, as a coach, and waiting for that answer. So a
Mm.
question, have you got any questions? Or is anything not clear about what we're doing in this session, or how we work? You're asking the question, and you're leaving the space for an answer. So there's no hurrying. I don't hurry
Mm.
to the next question. I don't believe in too many questions. I believe in less questions, and you know I don't. It's not about better or worse questions, but it is about calibrating, and noticing where my client is,
Mm.
and also being able to share with my client if I notice some nervousness or insecurity, or to being able to share that
Mm.
with a
Could you give a glimpse into some of the types of goals or challenges that people typically bring to coaching?
Well, because of the Thrive platform, and the fact that the clients can choose what they want to work on, and so as coaches, we have topics that we are experts on coaching, and or we want to coach on these days. So personally, lots of people that come to me, they their challenges are around work-life balance, stress, anxiety, burnout, challenging teams or managers or someone in their teams, challenging conversations, health, well-being. Yes, a lot of the time is around that. And when I talk about work-life balance, there's a lot around also, how much am I enjoying my job today, and how much could I be, contributing better or be more motivated.
How long does it usually take for someone to see results, Eugenia?
Half an hour.
It's incredible. It's almost unbelievable, isn't it, that people
It is.
get a shift in half an hour. How do you explain that?
How do I explain that? I think it's the power of coaching. As simple as that. I tend to be simple and invite people to simplicity. So the question, I always finish my sessions with, what are you taking away? How do you feel? Or what, right now at this moment? So people can also summarize and can go away with that just one word, and just stay with that. Don't go don't overanalyze. We spend together half an hour working, and this is how you feel at the end. Well, that's the power of coaching.
And I meet people that I've coached, 15, 20, 25 years ago, that when we catch up or they send me an email, they say, Pam, remember that thing that you said? Or I remember discussing this. It is a profound conversation that people have. So people can come wondering what they can get out of it, but you rarely meet somebody that doesn't hold the insights and the reflections from coaching for most of their life, in my experience.
Yes.
Do you have a favorite coaching success story?
The one that comes to my mind is related to health, medical coaching. Maybe because it was one of the most challenging work I've done in my career. And this person, he taught me to trust him and trust the process. We worked for many sessions, and he achieved his goal, and that's what he taught me, and that's why it's one that I remember, because it was a great lesson for me to trust.
And if you could say, after being a coach for so many years, what is it that keeps you motivated and inspired to keep on being a coach?
The success of coaching.
Yeah.
To see people's faces, and I always go back to the faces. I remember faces. People their feedback. Yes, the success. It works. So, and it's an opportunity for me to help someone and to learn as well. So it's I love it. I wouldn't change.
What people maybe won't appreciate is that coaching is a two-way street. We learn from the people that we coach. People bring nice ideas and a way in which they see things and a way in which they relate to things that equally holds the mirror up to us as a coach, doesn't it?
Yes, definitely.
What's the most rewarding feedback that you've ever received from one of your clients?
Um, I always love just the thank you. When thank you comes from the heart,
Mm.
that says it all. And then behind that thank you, there's a story. So there are lots of stories behind that, but people to recognize and that with your help and your support, through coaching, they managed to get to where they wanted to get to. I don't have one feedback. I have
And
again dreams and I remember clients, but it's always that thank you. Thank you for helping me see what I couldn't see.
And my final question is, what's been the most memorable thing that a coach has said to you that has kind of stayed with you as a piece of guidance or a mantra or a motto?
mm, um, um, trust your style.
Mm,
It's the depth of that calmness that you bring to the client.
mm,
So I think throughout the years of, I've learned to accept that this is my style and to be authentic. So I can also say to clients, if my style doesn't work with you, doesn't help you to move forward, let's find someone that will help.
mm,
Because I remain authentic to, and I've learned to honor my style and who I am, because I know I help, and I can help lots of people, and I know I can't help other people. That's
mm.
why there are other styles of coaches.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you for sharing your experience of coaching, and it's clear. I think it's clear for everybody to really feel the passion that you have and the dedication that you have to holding this incredible moment in people's lives where they can sit still and they can reflect and they can feel listened to, but they can also listen to themselves, and that simple 30 minutes of really getting clear on the thing that would most help you and that you most want. And it's a common denominator, isn't it, for everybody, that if you can get really clear, then you've got a really good chance of understanding what's most needed. And most of the time, people know what's needed. It's just that they can't get clear. And
Yeah.
and then, your incredible sponsorship of these individuals to be able to say what they bring, what they've got, what they have, it's always profound. So thank you so much for taking your time to share your journey and share your thoughts. And yeah, for all those lucky people that get the opportunity to be coached by you, I know they won't regret it. Thank you, Eugenia.
Thank you, Pam. Thank you.